Let's get ready to reindeer. Hey, what is up, everybody? Ross Cessna from Spiritual Phoenix Studios, bringing you a free tarot reading. Today we are doing the Santa's reindeer spread. It is December 23rd. Here's a fun little tidbit for you before we kind of explain more about the spread. The name Donner is German for thunder, and while the name Blitzen is German for lightning. So that's kind of interesting. And another way to think of this too, the Chariot card connects to Santa's sleigh riding through a moonlit December night. The two sphinxes in place of reindeer represent the push and pull of choices we make flying along life's path. And that's all stuff that's in the little sidebar of this book. I gotta remember to start telling people the name of this book because while I don't like everything in it, it's pretty freaking awesome. We're going to take a quick breath and then we're going to explain more about the reading. So we're going to do what's called box breathing. So you're going to breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, breathe out of your mouth for 4 seconds, then wait 4 seconds. And then you can repeat it again if you want and just listen, but do that once or twice. It will help you calm down in any situation. So we're going to breathe in. All right, and if you feel better, drop a like, leave a comment, all that stuff. So, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas was published on this day, December 23rd, in 1823, in Troy, New York. Sentinel newspaper. It is largely responsible for many modern conceptions about Santa Claus and Christmas Eve. And it's interesting how little things like that can shape culture this many years later, right? So this spread uses Santa's 8 reindeer as inspiration for a fun holiday spread. And because we are back to using my computer and not my phone for this, we can actually do dun 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 tabletop view, right? Isn't that awesome? So first card right up here is Dasher, and this is what excites you. The Tower card came up, right? Here's the interesting thing. A lot of us are afraid of the Tower card. I know most people that you talk to kind of don't like it, but I was listening to something and I've heard this concept before, but this person explained it really well. The difference between Olympic athletes and most people is they're able to channel what most people perceive as anxiety about situations into excitement, right? So while most people might get anxious about things crumbling down around them, you can also switch that energy to excitement towards, well, now that this energy is free, what more can I create, or how can I live differently because this space has now been opened up or cleared away, right? As somebody who was involved in the 12-step community for a period of time too, this card always makes me think of like that moment of clarity where things have crumbled around you so much that there's this clear perception of how to move forward now because the foundation of what you had underneath you has collapsed and allow you to view life differently. So that's kind of what excites you, right? What excites you is probably what you fear the most. And once you can kind of conquer that fear and go into the process, or as Carlos Castaneda puts it in one of his books, kind of like jump off the cliff, life will get better for you. Obviously, don't jump off a real cliff. It's a metaphor or an allegory. Come on now. Next one is Dancer. What makes me deliriously happy? 6 of Pentacles in reverse. This is 6 of Pentacles is generosity in reverse. It's kind of like stinginess and selfishness. It might make you happy to kind of hoard some of your resources or your time. That's the other thing too. Like time is a resource. And that's one thing that I'm kind of bad about. I'm really decadent about spending my time with myself, which isn't inherently bad, but there's also a lot of advantage of spending time with other people. So this selfishness here, you need to be mindful of it, right? Because sometimes the things that make us happy aren't necessarily the things that are what's best for us. That's not always the case either. Like I used to be an advocate for suffering and I've been an advocate for overindulgence. I won't say moderation in everything because that's a horrible fucking saying, but moderation in most things is pretty good. And the reason I say moderation in all things is like a horrible fucking saying is, um, because there's a lot of things that we don't need to do at all. Like, that's the gist of it. What makes you walk tall? Seven of Cups comes up. This is about like your imagination or fantasies. This is kind of your dreams, right? What makes you walk tall is having a purpose or something that gets you up in the morning. Like, I think this came up in one of the other readings. It might have been for a client though too. I don't know. It all blends together. But the general premise of this is what makes you walk tall? Getting excited about life. Having something that is bigger than you to pursue, right? And I'm writing something right now, and it's like looking at that and how many of us actually lose sight of that because we don't have a lot of our fundamental needs met, but we're so busy daydreaming about the life we could have, we never actually meet our fundamental needs. So then we're never actually able to enter a space of growing beyond constantly looking to fill this hole. It's a precarious place to be. But when you have that dream, it makes all the challenges in life worthwhile. So what makes you walk tall? Your dream. If you don't have one, you better get one. And I can give you a heads up as to where your dream or your passion might be. It probably lies behind the most painful things that you've encountered or the things that scare you the most, because generally there's a piece of informational experience that you have there that nobody else has that you can share with other people. So next one, this one is Vixen. Who thinks you're a total sex pot? This is the Chariot card. It's funny the Chariot card comes up. This is about self-control and willpower. I would say that you think that you're a total sex pot. It might be in your own head, right? You're a legend in your own mind. No, I mean, look at this in a more practical sense. I don't know if there is a more practical sense to this because it really didn't give a person, it gave the Chariot. I think this is saying that you invest a lot of your creative energy that could be expressed that way into other avenues that are helpful and beneficial, right? This is one of the things that I would say. This is actually how I'll utilize this, right? All of us have creative energy. Our creative energy is kind of how we invest our time. And that said, like, how do I want to put this? Artists tap into creative energy and create art. Musicians tap into creative energy and create music, right? People, when they have sex, they are actually like creating. There's the potential to create life, but there's this energetic exchange there, right? Like, that's still an act of creation. So all of that kind of has the same energy. And it's all directed by self-control and willpower. The issue is that for a lot of us, we don't have control over our creative energy. And our creative energy or our imagination or dreams are misaligned to anxieties and fears. And all anxiety is like a misappropriation of imagination. And when you begin to understand that you're misusing your creative or manifesting potential by worrying and focusing on things that are out of your control, and you begin to shift to internal focuses of control, like what you have control of in your own life, that will liberate you to move forward. And then you have self-control and willpower. And when you have creative control of that energy, life begins to change. That's how we're going to take that. And sorry it didn't answer your question. You know who thinks you're a sex pot. And if nobody does, there probably is somebody. You just have to look harder. How do you shine? Three of Cups comes up. This is about communication and community, right? So threes are about communication. Cups are about the emotions. This is like actively getting out and expressing your feelings with other people. And as somebody who's an ambivert who leans more towards the introvert side of things, there is benefit in communication and conversation and all of that good stuff, right? But we have to make sure that we're consciously investing in that energy in ways that it will be reciprocated and in around people who have similar mindsets, because life's too short to spend spend your time explaining your soul to people who aren't going to understand you, or to have to try to look at life from a level that doesn't make sense to you. And that being said, don't cut people out of your life, but make sure that you have more of the right type of people in your life than the other kind. You're the 5 people you surround yourself with. So how do you shine? Get around the right people. Who loves you? Ace of Swords in reverse. This nobody loves you. Is what this card's. No. Honestly, that's kind of the wrong question. Like, I think so many people get hung up on who feels this way about me, but it's more so of who do you radiate that out towards. And when you radiate that out towards other people without the expectation of getting anything back, that will bring you a specific joy that nobody else can give you, and that's bestowed upon you. And then you actually begin to see that other people might love you in their own way, and it's not necessarily up to you to dictate how that should be. And that's challenging, and that's the devastating and destructive thing, right? The large conception that we have of love as a culture is actually really conditional, and it's incredibly unhealthy, and it's been manipulated and distorted by like media and culture. So who loves you? Wrong question. Who do you love? And that's a reflection of who loves you. Because while I don't get behind a lot of the new age bullshit, I do think that generally everybody is good. I think that there's just distortions in our ability to achieve that based upon the experiences that we've had. So on some level, everybody does love you, or there's something that everybody could love about you if they saw you, but they might not be able to see you throughout their own distortions. I hope that makes sense. Sorry for like the philosophical answer and not like the cushy one where I tell you about the crush. This is not this type of tarot reading, right? It's not how I do it. What must you yell from the rooftops? That is 7 of Wands. So 7 is about faith. Wands are about creation. This is about like investing in what you believe in, right? Staying committed long after things have gotten comfortable and continuing to push forward despite any pushback. What must you yell from the rooftops? What must I yell from the rooftops? We'll do it this way, and then you think about this for yourself. For me, the thing that I must yell from the rooftops is the things that challenge you and push you back will help you develop strength. And just like you have resistance when you're weight training, not that I weight train, or like resistance builds strength, right? Friction creates sparks. That's what I would tell everybody, and that persisting and investing in what you are passionate about and having confidence that even if it doesn't work out now, that you can eventually make whatever you want to work within reason, right? Like, don't do this shit in regards to like that shitty guy who you think is your twin flame or something like that. Like, that's not what this is about. This is more so about sticking to like, you deserve to be treated a certain way. You deserve to have certain things within your life. Like, you're worthy of these things if you do the footwork. And this is saying invest in the footwork to have those things, and you'll have a sense of beauty in your life nobody else can get, right? What must you yell from the rooftops? What is the thing that you've learned from life that is your unique expression? Because a lot of people have said a lot of great shit, but what's your interpretation of it all? Because you do have a say in the matter, right? Your opinion does count. It just might not count to everybody. Okay, so what encourages your brilliance is the last one. 3 of Swords in reverse. Threes are about communication. Swords are about the mind. This card is about like grief and heartbreak when it's in the reverse like that. It's not necessarily that pleasant of a card upright either. But what encourages your brilliance? All the suffering in the world, right? This is one of the things that the New Age movement gets wrong. They talk about love and light, right? But you need that contrast of other situations to make the love and the light beautiful. It's just like my homie Stephanie Capone did here in the Moon Void Tarot, where it's like the light and the dark. You need those different aspects to make the other ones stand out and pop and have distinct variations. Now, life is shades of gray, but the challenges will encourage you to shine brighter. So keep on shining, right? And with that said, this reading is done. Thanks so much for checking it out. I hope you have a blessed and happy and safe holiday to you and your family. And I'll probably do a Christmas reading. If I don't, though, I'll do one the day after. So stay blessed, people. Peace.